what are some of the decisions you go into when you're looking at a beautiful plate of food and trying to find that perfect wine match, that match that will really enhance the food, and the food will also enhance the wine?
I love to study the plate and taste the plate and think about match and pairing because I think that okay, you serve a good food, you serve a good wine, it's also both good, But when you discover the right and correct wine for a match, it's a good marriage, It's look like a big emotions.
Fascinating people with stories to share, fabulous wines and the best local foods to accompany them, and beautiful places to discover and visit. All of this and more on Wine, Food and Travel with me, Marc Millon, on the Italian Wine Podcast. Join me for a new episode every Tuesday. Welcome to Wine, Food and Travel with me, Marc Millon, on Italian Wine Podcast. Today we travel to Campania to continue my special sub-series that focuses on this beautiful southern Italian region, its wines, gastronomy, and things to see and do. Today we're in the province of Naples, about 30 kilometers to the south, just inland from the stunningly beautiful Amalfi Coast in Gragnano, a town famous both for pasta as well as for wine. To meet my guest Nicoletta Gargiulo, who is the Vice President of AIS Campania and the restaurant manager of Ome o il Mare, which she opened with her husband, Chef Luigi Tramontano, in 2024, and which has already earned a Michelin Star. Many, many thanks for being our guest this morning, Nicoletta. How are you?
Good morning. I'm very well, thank you.
Is it a beautiful day, Nicoletta? I'm imagining the sun shining.
Yeah, we are in Nike summer now, so it's splendid. It's fantastic, so lovely.
Now, Nicoletta, we're in the province of Naples, which is a big province encompassing not only Italy's most vibrant, exciting, and historic city, Naples, but also important areas to the north and west, as well as to the south where you are. Can you tell us a little bit about the province of Naples and also about Gragnano?
Province of Naples is fantastic because it's totally on the sea. In front we have Procida, Ischia and Capri Island. All jet set, all people all around the world come here because Naples Gulf is fantastic. We have also Vesuvio, that is a big attraction. Vesuvio is very dangerous. He's sleeping for a long time, but all the land all around is so beautiful because, if you never take a look at pictures of Naples with Vesuvio on a back, so it's incredible in front of the sea. In the north of the province, we have also Monti Lattari mountains that is all around. So we have also a wonderful climate. The climate is good, just a little bit sometimes humid, but we have a lot of breeze, so it's good weather usually. It's fantastic. We have also a lot of trees, the green around the Vesuvio area. So we have also a lovely attractions in the city, look like Sorrento, for example, that is also very touristic area. And we have also a lovely wine and lovely food.
Yes, it is something of a paradise you're describing and making me want to return to the Gulf of Naples and to your beautiful area. Now, where you are, Nicoletta, Gragnano, it's a town that's famous for its pasta and also for a particular wine. Can you just tell us about the pasta di Gragnano? What makes it so special?
Pasta di Gragnano is very special because it's made up in a small factory, so it's traditional pasta. So the texture of pasta is totally different by the industrial pasta, and the taste is so lovely as well. There are a lot of traditional recipes about pasta in Gragnano. It's famous Barzanella pasta. That is a pasta that is cooked in tomatoes water and with extra virgin olive oil, oregano and basil with different kind of tomatoes, look like tartare of tomatoes, tomatoes confit, umami of tomatoes. That is so lovely with the lovely taste. The sense of basil is fantastic. All refreshed products that we have. Sometimes we have also baked pasta with mozzarella, for example, because on Lattari mountain that are in the surrounding of Gragnano, there are a lot of mozzarella factory or fior di latte that look like mozzarella as well. For example, sometimes we have also gnocchi with Neapolitan ragu with mozzarella that is baked. That is fantastic. Gragnano
Oh, wow.
have also a big history about pasta until the 17th century. Nearby, we have Valle dei Mulini, that is nearby a river where there was mulini for make flour of pasta.
Okay, so the wheat would have been grown in Campania, milled into the flour, and then the artisan pasta makers in Gragnano make this pasta that's famous all around the world. Nicoletta, a word about a special wine, the Gragnano wine.
Gragnano wine is a sparkly red wine that is prepared with Charmat method. So the re-fermentations of wine in a big inox machine. Gragnano wine is fruity and flowery. It's a medium body, and sometimes we try to have a good, lovely pairing, a good match with pizza, for example, with margherita pizza with the cherry tomatoes, mozzarella, and basil. It's fantastic. Gragnano wine is also a good match with with the food of the day, daily food, as ragu, as Genovese pasta, that is light and refreshing.
Okay, so it's a very typical wine, and I had heard that many people think it's the best wine for pizza. I think it was a favorite wine of Totò.
Yeah, Totò love Gragnano. Totò say, se non è Gragnano, desisti. It means if it's not Gragnano, you no drink. Totò would
Okay.
say always this. So nice, yeah.
Okay. Now, Nicoletta, tell us your own background as an ice sommelier. Did you always feel yourself drawn into the world of wine? What made you study to get this very high qualification as an ice sommelier?
I start to study as sommelier on 2000, so I am sommelier for a long time. Before that, I had the catering school, and I start to work in Sorrento in a lovely hotel. Then I move in Don Alfonso restaurant, that is a restaurant with 2 Michelin Star. In that time, Don Alfonso restaurants, he had 2,500 different labels and with a lovely and bigger wine cellar. So I study and at the same time I work in a restaurant. So a lot of taste experience. If you open a lot of wine, if you have a nice palate, a sensitive palate. I had 3 hard exam to become sommelier, and I never stopped to study because wine becomes also a passion. So you travel around vineyards, then you move in France to vineyards, you move in Tuscany, you move in Piedmont, all around, and visit a lot of vineyards, a lot of wine cellar, and you met a wine producer. This is our life. On 2007, I won the Campania regional competitions in May, and in November I won the best Italian sommelier in 2007.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, just 2 ladies in Italy won the best Italian competition. The first one was Lucia Pintore on 1987, and 20 years later I won as well the best Italian competition. But we are the only one.
Actually, I wanted to ask you about that, Nicoletta. Is the profession of sommelier in Italy generally welcoming and open to women, or was that something that was a bit of a struggle for you to be accepted in a world that I think we would have thought more dominated by men?
At the moment, we have a lot of ladies. There are a lot of sommelier, but 25 years ago, we was few ladies. So when I started, it was a little bit different, and I was very young. And I was a little girl, so sometimes men looks me with strange eyes, what she say, what
Hmm.
she's doing for, that for me was very exciting. So it's hard life. It's not easy because if you work in a restaurant as well, you work for a long time. And if you are mother, it's also a little bit different. You have to combine the house, the son, with a lot of work. And in my case, I was also president of Sommelier Regional Association. So I was very, very busy. If I think how I can do everything and combine everything, I never know what I do. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
was very hard, but it's a big passion. So if you have a big passion, you can do everything.
Okay, that's really encouraging for everybody, men as well as women. Passion is so important. And it must have been a passion for you and your husband to open Omeo il Mare restaurant in Gragnano. Tell us about this special place. Was it the realization of a dream for you? You've only been open just over a year, is that right? But you've already
one
got
years
a
ago,
Michelin
yes,
star.
1 years ago,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tell us about this.
Omeo il Mare restaurant is in Gragnano because my husband born in Gragnano. We met when we was very young, on 2004, when he comes to work in Don Alfonso restaurant as well. My husband was a sous chef of Don Alfonso, and we always worked for a long time in Amalfi Coast and in Sorrento. My husband took 4 Michelin Star. His first Michelin Star was in Villa Cimbrone restaurant in Ravello on 2012. Then we moved both to work in Grand Hotel Eccelso Vittoria in Sorrento, the best and the famous terrace of Caruso with the song Torno a Sorrento. And we
Oh,
took the
yes.
Michelin Star in 2013. Then we moved together on Hotel Agadi in Positano on 2017, and we opened also in April, and we took the Michelin Star as soon in November. But in the last year, we was thinking to have our own restaurant. And my husband started to take a look to a big local in Gragnano because he's born in Gragnano, so he would like to have his restaurant in Gragnano. And we find a lovely restaurant in an old building that was pasta factory. Our restaurant is by 1975 century. That is a big restaurant, but we have a few tables inside. We have 10 tables, and we open at the end of April 2024, and Michelin gave us the Michelin Star in November 2024. So it was incredible that we opened a restaurant, we created everything, and Michelin gave us the star so soon. It's incredible, but it's our dream. It's our dream, and we are very, very happy about this.
That's a wonderful story that you've been able to work together all these years in different places, always achieving high accolades, but now you have your own restaurant and you're still working together. It's a beautiful dream. I've only seen photos of Luigi's food. It looks stunningly beautiful. Can you describe to us some of his signature dishes and perhaps tell us about some Campania wines that you would pair with these signature dishes? Give us
Yeah.
a flavor of your restaurant.
I think that one of the signature plate of my husband is homemade nastrine pasta prepared with seaweed, sea urchin, Venus clams, tomato confit, and chives. This plate you can smell the sea in this plate.
Oh, wonderful. I can smell it from your words just to hearing about that.
It's so lovely. It's so lovely, and it have also a salty taste at the end. So I need to match the plate with a lovely wine. For example, sometimes I can use Fiano by Pastumeria. Fiano by Pastumeria, it's an incredible, refreshing white wine with a salty taste at the end, with the smell of the sea. That is a very, very good match.
And Nicoletta, that would have a different character to Fiano di Avellino, for example.
I have a lot of Fiano di Avellino. I have a lot of Fiano di Avellino because I love it. And
Uh-huh.
I have a lot of different vintage of Fiano. My wine list starts with the Fiano of 2015, for example. So I have 10 different vintage of Fiano di Avellino in wine list because when you leave bottles of Fiano di Avellino in wine cellar for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, it is so lovely because it is more rich, more complex, more persistent. You can smell smoked taste because the Fiano Avellino after few years have a smoked taste, look like dried hazelnuts or smoked chestnuts. It's very rich and persistent. It's fantastic. And then also it have less acidity than good balances between acidities and softness. So it is so lovely.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. But in this case, the from the Paestum area has a freshness and a salinity that you think pairs beautifully with the Nastrini pasta.
With sea urchin, yes, sea urchin
With
and
the sea
squid
urchin,
is
yeah.
better. Sometimes it's better with the pestum fiano or with more aging fiano di Avellino as well. Yeah.
Okay. And tell us another one of Luigi's signature dishes and what wine you would pair.
One of the best plate that I love it. I love it is a small cup that we call crustacean espresso. Crustacean espresso, it's made up with royal or biscuit crustaceans with prawns with lime, langoustine with cocoa butter, and Thai sauce. The Thai sauce is made up with sweet red pepper, with ginger, a little bit paprika, and on top we give a different consistencies with a fried Thai rice. So it is
Wow.
a very incredible plate with a lot of different smell, with different consistencies. And in this case, I suggest to pair wine with an aromatic wine. For example, sometimes I use aromatic wine with a little bit sweetness. In Campania, in the Galluccio area, we have a Moscato that is dried vinifications, but it have a little bit of sweetness. So it's a good mesh because the plate is very spicy. So if I serve dry white wine can be too aggressive, the pairing. Instead, with a little bit of sweetness and smoothness of the wine, the match is fantastic because the wine clean the palate and also Moscato, it's aromatic. So the plate is very persistent. So it's good pairing. It's so lovely. I love it. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds amazing. And I'm just enjoying listening to your descriptions of Luigi's dishes, which are complex and it's beautifully crafted and composed. And I can almost see a picture. And then the way you're pairing some of the considerations. For our listeners, can you share with us perhaps, I know this is difficult, but a general idea of what are some of the decisions you go into when you're looking at a beautiful plate of food and trying to find that perfect wine match, that match that will really enhance the food, and the food will also enhance the wine?
I love to study the plate and taste the plate and think about match and pairing because I think that okay, you serve a good food, you serve a good wine, it's also both good. But when you discover the right and correct wine for a match, it's a good marriott. It's look like a big emotions. So sometimes I start by food. Sometimes I start by wine. For example, the last winter, my husband prepared a plate with Avellino mushrooms and Bagnoli Irpino truffle. And I try a coda di volpe from Ariano Irpino, then from the Ike part of Irpinia that was a little bit macerated. And I think probably this food with this wine can be so lovely match. And I asked my
Oh,
husband to prepare that plate for me. Can you prepare a mushroom plate for me, Luigi? And he prepared that for me. And I serve a little bit taste of the wine. And I say, wow, it's incredible. And the thing that was incredible that I imagine that can be fantastic. And when you taste that it's wonderful, it's perfect together, I was very exciting. So I have already imagined that and it's fantastic. It's truly fantastic. So it's so incredible.
Nicoletta, what I'm really loving hearing is it sounds like you and Luigi still have so much enjoyment and fun in both Luigi's creations of food and with you finding that perfect match. And that although you're very experienced and have been a sommelier for many years, you still get that wow factor, that feeling of excitement when you get something absolutely right.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that people that comes in the restaurant can smell it. The people can smell and can taste our idea, and it's so exciting for guests as well that they can feel the combination between the chef and sommelier. That they can,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. This is nice. This is nice because people comes for food, but also for wine because they know our long experience. They comes for both experience.
Would most people be having the wine flight with one of the menus that Luigi creates?
Yes, I suggest. I suggest when pairing. I suggest when pairing about. Yeah, we have three different menu, and each menu can be matched with the wine pairing. And usually, I serve mostly Campania wine. Sometimes also Italian wine or some foreign wine, but I prefer to serve before Campania wine.
Well, it sounds a very special place, and I hope I can visit you.
Should be nice.
Possibly
Should be
some,
lovely. Yeah.
yes. Now, Nicoletta, you are the vice president of AIS Campania, so I'm going to ask you to take us on a whistle stop tour of the whole region. Now, we've already discussed some of the foods of the province of Naples and the pairing with Gragnano wine, but can you tell us maybe another dish from the province of Naples? And also, then we can travel to Salerno, to Avellino, to Benevento, and to Caserta. Typical foods that every visitor traveling to Campania should try to taste, and the best wine to sample with it, the best local wine from that province. Let's start with another dish from the province of Naples or from Naples.
Genovese. Genovese, sometimes people think about Genova, but Genovese is a Neapolitan sauce that is made up with onions and meat cooked for a long time. So Genovese has a sweetness of onions, but also it is spicy because they use, for example, nutmeg. So it is a very rich sauce, and they prepare usually a pasta with Genovese sauce. And the plate is usually complete with provolone cheese that is a salty and very aromatic cheese from Montilattari area. So it's a full body plate, I think. Then usually we serve a red wine. For example, medium to full the red wine that we use, that is Piedi Rosso grapes, that is usually produced on Campi Flegrei area or in Ischia Island, where it is called Pere Palummo. Pere Palummo and Piedi Rosso is the same, but in Ischia they call it Pere Palummo. You know, Piedi Rosso is not too tannic red wine. So it is fruity, flowery, spicy with a good softness, but at the same time it is very persistent and a little bit salty with minerally taste. And it's a very lovely in combinations with the Genovese.
Oh, that's a wonderful pairing. I love Genovese. It's if I'm in Naples, that's something I
And you know Piedi Rosso as well?
yes, absolutely. Both from Campi Flegrei as well as from Vesuvio.
Volcanic
Yeah.
underground, yeah.
What about the Provincia di Salerno? What would be a dish that everyone should try?
Salerno is Amalfi Coast because Salerno is Amalfi, and I think that we need to speak about Cetara anchovies. Anchovies by Cetara is a fantastic dish. They prepare anchovies as a pizzaiola style, made up with tomatoes, made up with oregano, with basil and parsley. And anchovies of Cetara is also sometimes prepared dried in extra virgin olive oil. So it is salty anchovies. And if you prepare a pasta with salty Cetara anchovies, you have an umami taste in a pasta. So you need to find a very rich white wine, but we need to select a smoothness white wine because the salty of the dishes need a smoothness and softness of the white wine. So if we look about, for example, a wonderful Amalfi Coast white wine, a little bit aging. For example, sometimes I tried that with a lovely Amalfi Coast white wine from 2016 or 2018 that is more rich and more smooth. The pairing, it's so lovely. Then spaghetti pasta with dried and salty anchovies with a little bit touch of aromatic Amalfi Coast fennel seeds because we have a lot of fennel seeds around the Amalfi Coast. The plate is so fantastic.
Oh, that sounds so wonderful. And I'm just, again, you're transporting us to these beautiful places. But the Cetara anchovies, that sounds
With
wonderful. And of
Amalfi
course,
white wine.
these Amalfi white wines are so wonderful. We don't see them exported because they get drunk on the Amalfi Coast in the restaurants. But they are so special and so wonderful in every way that I wish I had a chance to drink them more often. But you really need to travel to the place to discover some of these wines from great
Yes.
varieties that are not known at all, but which produce gorgeous wines. And I'm loving too that you're emphasizing that white wines from Campania have a terrific capacity to evolve in age, whether from Amalfi or from Avellino. Let's travel to Avellino, Nicoletta, to
Avellino.
Irpinia. So what would you eat and pair with there?
Avellino is famous for cheese, for example. There is a very particular cheese that is Carmasciano Pecorino. Carmasciano Pecorino that is a very, very small productions. Or we have also Irpinia truffle, Bagnoli truffle. Or we have a mugliatielli that is a small rolls that is prepared with lamb that are very strong, very, very full body plate. In that case, you need a rich wine, and we can try to suggest a pairing as a white wine with Greco di Tufo, for example. Greco di Tufo, it's a white wine that wearing a red wine dress because Greco di Tufo have a little bit tannic taste at the end. So it is a strong and rich white wine. You know, in Tufo area, we have a good and strange soil because we have a calcareous soil, but inside calcareous soil we have a sulfur. In fact, we can see in the vineyards yellow tuff sometimes, so you can smell it in wine as a minerally and smoked taste. So Greco is so lovely in combinations with a pasta prepared, for example, with pecorino or with truffle. As a red wine that we can suggest instead in combination with mugliatelli than with lamb, it's Taurasi. Taurasi is Aglianico grapes. Taurasi was very famous until the first year of 900th century, because that was the golden years of Irpinia red wine. Because in Taurasi there was a railways where arrived all the wine produced in the area before to leave for other destination that was in northern Italy and in France. In the period where in France, in Veneto, or in Piedmont, or in Tuscany, phylloxera epidemic destroyed all the vineyards, then they can find wine from Irpinia. They drink wine from Irpinia, and that it is the most important period for Taurasi. Taurasi, at the moment, is also one of the best and famous red wine from south of Italy. It is made up with Aglianico grapes, and it is a full body red, fruity, flowery, spicy, and you can smell volcanic underground, because one of the last big explosions of Vesuvio went directly on Avellino vineyards. So the soil is calcareous and with a little bit also clay, but in a clay and calcareous soil we can find a lot of volcanic materials, look like pumice, look like lapilli, look like ash. So sometimes some part of a vineyard are black part of volcanic. The wine are smoked, the wine are full. So Taurasi and Aglianico from Irpinia, it's a very good wine.
Okay, wonderful descriptions. Now, two more provinces. Let's move to the province of Benevento and tell us about one dish and a wine that would pair, something typical from Benevento.
They produce a lot of wonderful food because it's a big province with a lot of products and vegetables and cheese as well and meat as well. So it's not easy to find a typical dishes. But I think that they have a cavatelli with a Neapolitan ragu, that is a white ragu, or stuffed pepper. They stuff peppers with bread, with capers, with olives. And with that, we use Falangina white wine, because in Sannio area we have a lovely Falangina. We have a different crew of Falangina. We can say that in Benevento area now we have a crew of Falangina in the small area that are produced as Sant'Agata dei Goti, as Guardia San Framondi, as Solopaga and Taburno. Falangina is one of the most famous local white wine that is fruity and flowery, very good acidity. That Falangina is a very refreshing white wine, and in the last years, sometimes they prepare Falangina as a late harvest technology. So Falangina has a little bit less acidity with more softness. Sometimes now they prepare Falangina as a small macerations in amphora, for example. So it's a totally different by the fresh and crispy, because Falangina sometimes is crispy taste. So we have a different kind of Falangina that we can suggest with different Benevento food.
Okay, wonderful. And final provincia, Caserta.
Caserta is mozzarella. It's buffalo mozzarella. And I can remember a ladies chef that is famous in Campania for prepare dishes with mozzarella, that she prepare deep fried buffalo mozzarella. And with deep fried buffalo mozzarella, it's so lovely the pairing with Asprino di Aversa spumante. Have you never tasted Asprino spumante?
I actually did taste it at Vinitaly this year from a producer that still grows the vines up high to be harvested off of very high ladders. Is that the same wine?
It is the same wine. It is the same wine, and it is very particular wine because in Aversa area we have egg vines married with a tress. So we
Okay.
need a Spider-Man man for a manual harvest
Right.
of Asprino because it's a high level from the floor that are married the vines with the tress. So it's an incredible wine, and we have a small production at the moment, but Asprino Spumante, it's so fantastic and it is so unique. Asprino, it's a very dry wine with a light body, but the egg force of Asprino, it's freshness. It's dry and freshness, and with the deep fried mozzarella, the pairing, it's fantastic. We can use also Asprino Spumante with, we prepare a croquet, we prepare a rice. Have you never tasted arancini? That is fried rice with mozzarella,
Yes.
with, then or with fried pizza. For example,
Oh, the
as an
pizza
aperitif, they
frita.
prepare croquet, they prepare arancino, they prepare fried pizza. The match with Asprino di Aversa spumante, it's so lovely. Or we have also Greco di Tufo spumante that is very, very incredible local bubbles. Greco di Tufo is also prepared with method champenoise, and it is aging 36 months. So we have also a very particular and small productions of bubbles in the region as well.
Oh, wonderful. Nicoletta, you've taken us on a most fabulous tour of the Campania
I
region.
try to do. Thank you.
No, it's beautiful, and your descriptions of the local foods and of these wines that are unique to each province are just fantastic. Nicoletta, it's been a real pleasure meeting you here. I really hope I can visit Omeyanmar sometime. I'm coming to Campania in September, so perhaps we can meet then. But I know this is a busy time of year for you, a busy time for hospitality businesses because your area is so popular. So thank you so much for giving us your time this morning. And I hope you have a fabulous rest of summer, and I hope to meet you soon. Grazie mille.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. And I hope to see you as soon as possible. Thank you. And you are very welcome.
Grazie. Buona giornata,
You
Nicoletta.
too. Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye. We hope today's episode of Wine, Food and Travel with me, Marc Millon, on the Italian Wine Podcast has transported you to somewhere special. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe wherever you get your pods. Likewise, you can visit us at italianwinepodcast.com. Until next time, chin chin.